student. Good evening and I welcome you students. The exams are coming and we must be able to revise and complete the course as early as possible students. And you can see on the screen is a very important topic, chemical bonding and structure student. First of all, you tell me what do you mean by a chemical bond student? What is a chemical bond student? What do you know about a chemical bond? Can you tell me what do you mean by chemical bond student? You know, there are elements. You have seen the periodic table, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen elements, and you know the matter.
Chemical bond is basically attraction between atoms, ions, or molecules that is basically enabling the
You
formation of
already
chemical
know,
compounds.
student, that atoms do not exist independently. Only there are few atoms which are existing as independently. Which are those? Which are those which can exist, students, independent? Noble, only noble gas elements. Noble
Yes.
gas elements, which are those? You know, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. These are the noble gas elements. They are existing as the atoms, monatomic atoms. Because, in other words, I can say they are stable. If something is stable, then only it will exist.
Yes,
Other
sir.
elements, if I say hydrogen, hydrogen is not existing as H, oxygen is not existing as it is forming H2, it is forming O2, then it is forming large compounds, students, large compounds like H2O, Na2O. So many different type of compounds are being formed, student. Even for hydrogen, you know, HCl, HNO3, so many compounds, but H is not existing, oxygen is not existing. Similarly, and you are saying it is forming N2, it is forming compounds. But we are trying to show you, student, that these elements, the atoms of the elements are not capable of independent existence. That means they are not stable. That means you are saying they are not stable, student. Then what they do? They combine with themselves or with other atoms to form molecules or compounds, right? And when they will combine, student, there will be some attractive force which will be required, right or wrong? Unless there
Yes,
is an
sir.
attractive force, they cannot be together. Can two things be together without attractive force, students? Therefore, student, what we are saying, you have atoms, you have ions, student, or whatever I say, constituent, okay? They are together. There must be some attractive force between them. ठीक है? The attractive force which exists between these particles, student, atoms, ions, to form molecules or compounds is what we call as a chemical bond. That is right. So chemical bond is nothing. There is an attractive force. Two persons are shaking hands, student. They are friends. They are friends. If they are not friends, enemies, are they shaking hands? So there is an attractive force, student, between these particles. Then they form a bond. Now the question is, the topic itself is a chemical bond. Bond is there, and a chemical means, a chemical bond means the bond is between the atoms.
Atoms.
And these atoms are, what type of bonds they can form? What type of bonds, students, the atoms can form, student? You can tell me. There are compounds can be divided into two types of bonds. What are the two types of bonds which we see in chemistry, student? Tell me the two types of bonds, students. What you are aware of, student? What are the two types of bond you are familiar? One you are calling ionic bond, student, right?
Yes, sir.
Ionic bond. And the other you are saying is a covalent bond, student. So in chemistry, student, in chemical bonding, I am talking of two types of bond, students. And you know, student, which will form ionic bond, which will form covalent bond. What is an ionic bond? So I am asking you a simple question. When I write a word, student, I must know what it means, student. We must understand. We must decode this word. Ionic bond means what, student? That there will be ions. So the electrostatic force will be between oppositely charged ions. And when ions are formed, student, when ions are formed, when there will be transfer of electron, student. In other words, student, electrons are the charged particles. The electrons of the valence shell are those which are involved in the chemical bonding. Which electrons? Valence electrons, which are present in the outermost shell, which those electrons which are present in the outermost shell, the valence shell electrons are the ones which are taking part in the bonding. And
Okay.
electron is a negatively charged. If it leaves, it will become a cation. And when an element gains, student atom gains, it will become a anion. So cation and anion will be there when there is an ionic bond. Is it right? Yes or no? Tell me.
Yes, sir. Right.
Therefore, student, if I say sodium and Cl, you are saying it is an ionic compound. There is an ionic bond because in this, what is happening? Sodium is losing an electron and Cl is gaining an electron, student. So you will ask me a question, why should it lose the electron? Why should it gain the electron? What is your answer, student? What is your answer?
What's the question, sir? Again, can you ask?
Why will sodium lose an electron and Cl gain the electron, student? That is my question. Sodium is a metal or a non-metal? Tell me.
Sodium is a metal.
Sodium is a metal. Very good answer. What about Cl? Is a metal or a non-metal?
It is a non-metal.
Very good answer. That they are. What the metals do, student? They can lose the electrons. And what the non-metals do, you know, they are highly electronegative. They gain the electron. So, sir, when there will be a when a bond will be formed between a metal and a non-metal, for example, in NaCl, we can say it is an ionic bond. Now let me see why are they doing it? Why are they doing? Why the sodium is losing electrons, student? And you have seen these noble gas. They are stable. Why they are stable, student? Tell me why they are stable. Why the noble gases are stable? What is the secret? What type of theory was given, student? What is the rule? Can you tell me, student? 30 seconds. Why do noble gases are stable? What do you have heard about octet rule? Do you know anything about octet rule? Yes or no? Fast.
Yes, sir.
What is an octet rule?
Octet rule is when there are 8 electrons in the outer shell to make it stable.
They become stable. So noble gases were found to be stable because the outermost shell is completely filled, which we said octet rule, student. And on that basis, Lewis has given a structure and octet rule. So the elements which don't have octet, they are not stable. So they will try to get octet. That's what you are saying? Okay, let me see what is happening. Sodium, what is the atomic number of sodium? Tell me fast. What is the atomic number of sodium, students? 1 to 20 should be known to us. 11. Which
Yes,
group
sir.
is it? Group 1, alkali metal.
Yeah.
What is the configuration of the student? Hydrogen, helium, lithium. Which period is sodium? Which
Yes,
period
sir.
is sodium? 3s1. Okay, 3s1, student. If you have neon 10, 3s1. Right? 10 plus 1, 11. Now this is an extra electron in the sodium I am showing by Lewis. You have seen what are the Lewis electron dot structure, students? Lewis electron dot structure. Yes or no? Tell me. Lewis electron dot structure, the number of electrons in the outermost valence shell, student. We put the dots. There were, in other words, in simple language, I was saying 281. And what is the story of the Cl? Atomic number 17. Which group is this? 17. 17. Then what is the story of this? 3s2, 3p5. ठीक है? 7 and 10 neon. Is it right? Electron configuration, you know how to write. How many electrons are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Right? This is having one extra electron, and this is in need of one electron. What will happen? One electron is transferred from sodium to chlorine, students. What is happening? Transfer of electron. Yes or no? Tell me. Yes or no? Transfer of electron, student. Yes or no? Tell
Yes,
me.
sir.
One electron is transferred. Then what happens, student? Then sodium becomes plus, and this becomes noble gas 28. And what happens to Cl, student? It gets one electron. So it becomes 288. So in this process, both have got octet. Both have got octet. So they are stable. Therefore, they are forming ionic bond. They are forming ionic bond, students. So ionic bond is formed by the transfer of the electrons. This become a positively charged, this become a negatively charged. So there is a strong electrostatic force of attraction. What type of force of attraction is this? Electrostatic force of attraction. In physics, you know, opposite charges are attracting Coulomb's law. You are aware of that. Okay. Therefore, student, in general, I can say, student, when a when ionic compound is formed, when metal and non-metal combines.
Okay.
What is a covalent bond, student? So there is an attractive interaction, attractive force between these two ions, cation and anion. Covalent compound means what, student? What do you mean by a covalent compound? For example, student, I am saying that supposing you have one hydrogen, hydrogen is having one electron, another is having one electron. It needs two electron, it needs two, but it cannot lose one. Then what they do, student? They share. They are sharing the electron, student, represent like this. Okay? So now in this way, the outer shell of the hydrogen, only one s can have only two electrons, student, one s two.
Yes, sir.
So this shell becomes completely filled and becomes stable, student. They become stable. If I consider, student, if I consider carbon is forming, student, carbon is forming bond with hydrogen, student, hydrogen. Now, what is the electron configuration of hydrogen 1s1? So the Lewis electron dot structure can be represented like this. Carbon is 2, 4. This is 1. Now what will happen? Carbon is in need of 4 electrons and hydrogen is only having one electron. So it doesn't want to lose. What will they do, student? They will share. They will
Yes,
share.
sir.
So if they share, student, if they share, what is the story then? This is hydrogen, and this is, so you are forming, student. Now this has got 8 electrons, hydrogen has got 2 electrons, so you are forming, student. What type of bond is this? Covalent bond is formed by sharing of electrons, student. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
It is not easy to lose 4 electron. Lot of energy is required. Who will give that energy? There is not enough energy. So generally we can say that carbon and hydrogen, students, whenever you are getting elements which are non-metal, student, two or more non-metals. They are two non-metals. So when two non-metals will be there, they are generally going to form covalent bonds, student, covalent bonds. In some cases, student, it may be difficult. For example, if I consider NH4, student, ammonium chloride. In this, you have this type of bond. But these are all what? Non-metals. So still there is a, what, ammonium is positive ion and chloride is a negative ion. So here we see, student, this is nitrogen is forming covalent bond with the hydrogen. These are covalent bond, students, and this Cl minus and nitrogen, they are forming plus minus. So the in addition to this ammonium ion, there is a covalent bonding as well as there is a ionic bonding. So there will be such cases, student. Therefore, we know that if you have mostly what you will find, student, group 1 elements, group 2 elements, they are metals. And non-metals on the group 17 is the most important, group 17. So naturally 1 and 2 with group 17 are going to be forming, student, ionic type of bond. So they will form 1, 2, they 1 and 17, element 1 and 17 or 2 and 17 are likely to form mostly ionic bonds. What type of bonds are being formed? Ionic. And other elements of group 14, 15 and 16, student, they are going to be forming most of the time, student, covalent bonds. So carbon, you have seen carbon, all these CH4, CCl4, covalent, group 15 nitrogen, ammonia, student, and group 16 H2O, student, oxygen. Yeah, they are mostly covalent compounds. ठीक है? Clear up to now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So students, whenever ionic bond is formed, ठीक है, they are formed when metallic elements will lose the electrons. For example, magnesium is there. Magnesium loses the electron, student. It is a group 2 element. The valence is +2. It is forming an ion, student, ion. This is a positive ion, student, positive ion. And the electrons are lost from the highest energy, are being lost from the highest energy, student, in this case. And if I have a non-metal, student, oxygen, this atomic number was 12. Oxygen atomic number is 8, student, 8. So what happens? Oxygen, it is 2, 6. It is 2, 8, 2. So 2 electrons are being lost. It will gain 2 electrons, then what will happen, student? It will form O2 minus. O2 minus is what? A negative ion. It is oxide ion. This is a cation. This is a cation, student. This is a negative ion, which you are saying is an anion, student. So such a compound which is there, student, when they will combine, what happens then? Magnesium is reacting with oxygen, student, to form MgO, student, where you have 2 plus and 2 minus, ionic. So ionic bond is there, student, in this case. What type of
Yes,
bond I am
sir.
saying? Ionic bond is there. So this becomes 2, 8, 2, student. You are representing by this, and there are 6 electrons, student. Lewis electron dot structure 2, 6. So these 2 electrons are going here. The result is, student, this magnesium will lose 2 electron, 2, 8, and this will gain 2, 8. So both of them octet. So octet is completed, student. They are going to the nearest noble gas configuration. Nearest noble gas configuration, right? Clear,
Yes, sir.
student? So the number of electron lost is or gained is determined by the electron configuration of the atom. The number of electrons lost or gained will depend on the electron configuration. Electron configuration of the elements, students. There are certain, in the case of transition metals, student, they can form more than one ion. If I consider transition metals, let me take the case of iron, student. What is the atomic number of iron? We said scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, scandium, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc. We studied the 3D series in the last lecture. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. What was the configuration of iron then? What was that? Iron, students? Iron, how did we write iron? 18 argon. And what electrons were written, student, in this iron? This is 3d6 and 4s2. What is this? 3d6 and 4s2. 3d6, 4s2, student. So it can lose, student, how many electrons? So here they do not have noble gas electron configuration. They can form Fe2 plus or Fe3 plus. If I have Fe2 plus, it is 3d6. If I have Fe3 plus, that is 3d5. Electrons will leave from 2 electrons from here and 1 from here. So first the electrons are lost from 4s. When 2 electrons are lost, the next will be lost from the D, student, and therefore this is number of electron lost or gained will again be determined by their electron configuration. But in this they can form +2 and +3 ions. Iron can form +2 and +3. If I consider Aluminium, you know, aluminium is in which group? Boron, aluminium, group 13. So 13 minus 10, 3. Therefore, what do you see, student? The number of electrons lost by the aluminium depends on the aluminium will form 3 plus ion. 3 plus ion. ठीक है? Up to group 14, you know, the valence is 14 minus 10, 3 or 4. ठीक है? So we know about it. How do we calculate if I have group 14? Then group 14 is which? Carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, lead, right? So 14 minus
Yes,
10
sir.
is how much? 4. So there are 4 valence electrons which will take part in the bonding. 4 electrons will take part in the bonding, right? Carbon, you know, carbon is forming 4 bonds, students. And when we come to group 15 to 17 student, they are non-metals. They can gain electrons, students. And there we write, student, they can form ions. Form ions. 18 minus 15, how much? 3. 18 minus 15, 3. 18 minus 17, 1. 18 minus 16 is 2. So they can gain electron. For example, nitrogen family is, this is my nitrogen family. They can gain 3 electrons, students. They can form 3 minus. 3 minus. And in this case, for example, in NH3, nitrogen is 3 minus. And halogens, if I have halogen, student, Cl, 18 minus 17, 1. So this will gain an electron and form Cl minus. And if I have oxygen, oxygen is group 16, it can gain 2 electron and form O2 minus. Clear? So the number of valence electron, the number of electrons in the outermost shell, student, we can write, student, the type of ions that will be formed, positive ion or negative ion. Is it clear? Tell me.
Yes,
Positive
sir.
or negative ions, clear?
Yes, sir.
So based on that, student, the ion, they can form positive or negative ion. So ionic compound is formed by the transfer of the electrons, by the transfer of the electrons. And you know that the principle of conservation of charge is there. What is the law of conservation of charge? The total charge is conserved, student. We cannot create or destroy electrons. Therefore, the number of electrons lost by one should be equal to number of electron gained, right?
Yes, sir.
If you are saying magnesium is 2 plus, then oxygen is 2 minus, this loses 2 electrons and 2 electrons are gained by the oxygen. It is not that it will lose 3 and it will gain 2, student, then it is not balanced. The charges must be balanced, student. The charges must be balanced. The law of conservation of hold true that we cannot create any charge or neither can we destroy any charge. The charge is being created here by the loss of or gain of the electrons. We cannot create electrons and we cannot destroy electrons. Therefore, in every ionic compound, what will happen? The number of electrons lost must be equal to number of electrons gained in every ionic compound. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So when I say MgF2, you are saying Mg2 plus and this is 2F minus. So 2 electrons are lost and they are gaining 2 electrons in this case. Now students, important question is coming on how to write the formula. First, we should know the formula of the ions, student. We know what you are saying. Ions are formed. Ions are formed, student. Ions are there in an ionic compound. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What type of ions are there? Cation,
And anions.
positive ion, and anion, negative ion. 2 ions are there.
Yes, sir.
In every ionic compound. And we have seen how to calculate the valency of that. You have seen group 1, group 2, group 3, group 1, 1 plus 1, group 2 plus 2. When I said group 1, they are metals, lithium, sodium, potassium, all this they are forming plus 1. Group 2, What do you have group 2? Magnesium, calcium and all that. ठीक है? What they are forming? Magnesium is forming 2 plus, calcium 2 plus, like that. And when I come to group 13, you are saying 13 minus 10 is 3. So aluminium 3 plus. When I say 14, in the case of 14, what you are forming? 14 minus 10, 4 plus 4. And when I come to 15, what I'm saying, in 15 group, you are saying 18 minus 15 is equal to minus 3. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
So, and when I come to group 16 group, what you find? Group 16, 18 minus 16, you are saying 2, for example, minus 2, oxygen, sulfur, oxygen, oxygen, sulfur, like that, sulfide, oxides. And group 17, when I come, how do you will find? 17 minus 18 minus 17, how much? Minus 1 will be the, if you have Cl minus 1, fluorine minus 1, they are all gaining 1 electron. 18 minus 18, 0. Noble gas is 0. Clear? So student,
Yeah.
here is a list of the formula of the ions. So we know how to find the formula of the ions first. So we must remember that formula of ions, because then only I will be able to write, student, the formula of the compounds. Question will be there in the paper. Write the formulas of the compound. So how will we work? The question will be to work out, student, formulas of ionic compounds. ठीक है?
Okay.
For that, what I have to learn? These are the, here I have a table, student. Lithium is +1, sodium, they are first group alkali metals. And in some cases, I have given ammonium ion as +1. Special cases, you see, ammonium +1, hydrogen +1, and magnesium is +2, they are group 2, and iron 2 plus, copper 2 plus, zinc 2, iron 3 plus is also there, aluminum 3 plus. So student, these are the ions which we should learn. These are in our course, student, you should note down. Noted? Tell me, you have noted down? Note down the formulas, because I will be writing the formulas of the compound. A question will be there in the paper.
It's writing.
Noted?
Writing, sir.
Okay, write down everything important, students. So these are the formulas of the commonly positive ions. These are the some of the common positive ions we will be using. Okay, the common positive ions which will be used in our course, student, will be these ones. And students, and here are some of the common negative ions which will be used in our course, student. They are the positive ions. These are the common
Written, sir.
negative ions or anions, student, which will be used in our course. Fluoride is F minus, chloride is Cl minus, Br minus 1, I minus 1. That means it has gained 1 electron, it has gained 2 electron. How it is formed? F plus E, F minus, Cl plus E, 1 electron, and OH plus E, 1 electron, student. This is hydrogen carbonate, nitrate ion. How this will be formed? Oxygen plus 2 electrons. Sulfide S plus 2 electrons. So they are gaining 2 electron, 2 minus. right? And nitride student, and it is gaining 3 electrons. Why? What is nitrogen is 2 5. See the 2 5? If it gains 3 electrons, what will happen? It will become N3 minus and 2 8. Got the octet? Right? Got it? It was in group 15. And how do I say 18 minus 15 is 3. So it is gaining 3 electrons. Clear? And phosphate. So these are some of the anions will be used by a student. These are some of the anions which will be used by us. First you note down the student, then we proceed further. Now the question is, student, how to write formulas of ionic compounds. Question 1. ठीक है? Question 1, student, we are saying, student, aluminum and fluorine. Aluminum and fluorine, student, form ionic compound. Write the formula. Write the formula. Okay. This is a question now for the paper. How will you write the formula? You have 1 minute to answer the question, student.
How to write formulas of this compound? So aluminum and fluorine, you want me to write the formula?
Yes.
Right?
At least let me show you one, then we will do further. You are saying aluminium. Aluminium.
Yeah, it will be AlF3.
Okay, aluminium is 13. You are saying 283. And you know, aluminium is going to lose 3 electrons. How many electrons? 3. Let me make it better. Just to explain to you completely. 3 electrons. Now these 3 electrons should be gained by what? Fluorine. What is fluorine? 9, 2, 7. One fluorine will gain 1 electron, F minus. Now there are 3 electrons. So how many fluorine you will need? This number of electrons lost must be equal to number of electrons gained, student. Law of conservation of charge. So how many fluorine should be there then? 3 to gain 3 electrons. Yes or no? Tell me. Is it right?
Yes, sir.
So what then I do, student? If I see the table, in the table I said aluminum is a 3 plus, fluorine is minus 1. 1 fluorine is minus 1.
Yeah.
The total charge of the compound should be 0. Right?
Close the door.
So the shortcut, I am showing the shortcut now. What I will do, this is plus 3 and this is minus 1. Now how do I make the two equal so that the total charge becomes 0? Minus 1, this is minus. If I multiply minus 1 by 3 student, it will become minus 3. If I multiply plus 3 with 1 student, it will become plus 3. Minus 3 and plus 3 is equal to 0. Criss-cross method. It is called criss-cross method. Kata laga diya?
Yes.
So what will be the formula then? Aluminium 1 and fluorine 3. AlF3. Clear? Got it? So 3 electrons lost by aluminium are gained by 3 fluorines. That's what I'm saying. Is it clear? What it means? It has aluminium 3 plus and 3F minus. Is it clear? Yes or no? Okay. So what we are saying, student, in such cases there is a electrostatic attraction. This is an ionic compound. Ionic compound, electrostatic attraction between the oppositely charged ions. The force, this is a strong force, student. What is the attractive force? Oppositely charged ions attract each other. Yes or no? Studied in physics. Like charges repel, opposite charges attract, student. Positive and negative, positive and negative. There is an attractive Coulomb force between these charges. That is a ionic bond is an electrostatic attraction between the oppositely charged ions. Yes or no? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Question number 2. Write the formula, student. Write the formula of magnesium and OH. I am saying magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide. You have 1 minute to answer the question, student. Now we are practicing to write the formulas of the ionic compounds. Formulas of the ionic compounds. It's very important, student. Very, very important.
Mg and OH. So it will be MgOH whole twice.
What is the valency of the magnesium 2 plus? And what is OH minus? We have seen where is OH minus? Minus 1?
Yes, sir.
What is crisscross method? The shortcut, student. This is 2 plus.
The 2 plus goes to the other side and the minus
Plus
1
2
comes to
into
Mg.
1. And this is minus 1. Then I have to
Into
multiply by 2
2.
to make it minus 2 and plus 2.
Yes,
Total
sir.
charge 0. So how do we write then? Magnesium is 1 and OH minus how many? 2.
2.
So the number of electron lost by magnesium must be gained by the OH minus. The total charge should be equal and opposite. Clear? The number of electrons lost by one student species must be equal to number of electrons gained by the second species. The law of conservation of charge. Is it clear? Question number 3, student. Write the formula of aluminium oxide. Important question I am giving. They will be asked in the paper, student. They will be asked in the paper, student.
Sir, I'll send you the syllabus in your mail.
Okay, I will see that.
Right formula of aluminium oxide. Okay. It will be Al2O3.
How do you do it in the exam, student? Aluminium, tell me what is the charge on the aluminium?
Aluminium is 3 plus.
And what is
And
oxygen?
O is 2 minus.
2 minus. Now the question is, student, what should be the multiplicative factor so that the two charges become equal? This is minus 2 and this is plus 3.
Plus 3.
So if I multiply this by 2 and multiply this by 3, student, this will become plus 6 and minus 6. Plus 6 and minus 6 equal to 0.
0.
Total charge should be balanced. So Al, how much you multiplied by 2?
Yes, sir.
And oxygen?
3.
3. Al2O3. One question will be there in the paper, student, how to write the formula. Any doubt now? Any doubt?
No, sir, no doubt.
Okay, note it down. Important point, student, how to write the formulas of the compound. Students, you have seen now, what you have seen, student, ionic bond is nothing but electrostatic bond. Electrostatic bond. There are charges, student. What you are saying, there is a positive charge and there is a negative charge, and there is some distance between them. There is some distance between them. Okay? If this is my Q1 and this is Q2, then what is the formula? You know, what is the force of attraction? Coulomb's law. What is the Coulomb's law is? What is the Coulomb's law? Q1, Q2 by R square, student, and into some constant 4 pi E naught 0. You are aware of this Coulomb's formula? In physics you will see. Okay? Coulomb's law. You have studied in physics, student. Where what is R is the distance between the charges. This E naught is what is E naught called, student, electric permeability of vacuum. Okay? Electric. You will see this more in physics rather than chemistry. I am just giving you, if you are interested, you can see the physics lecture of this electric permeability of a vacuum, student.
Okay.
So there is the positive charges are attracting, student, negative, and negative are attracting the positive. And what happens in such cases, student? What happens in such cases? If I say you have seen NaCl, student, which you are using at home, it is not just one sodium and one chloride ion, student. What they form is a crystal. What they form is a crystal lattice, student. Crystal lattice is a three-dimensional arrangement of sodium and chloride ion, student. Three-dimensional. Okay? Is a space filling NaCl, which we have shown here. This Cl minus is larger than sodium because Cl minus is larger because it is an anion. It is a cation, student. Okay? So what they form is a NaCl lattice, crystal lattice. This is a NaCl crystal lattice, which is a diagram we have shown, three-dimensional picture, student. That one sodium ion is attracted by not one chloride ion, but many chloride ions. Similarly, one chloride ion is attracting many sodium ion, students. And this results in the formation of a crystal, student, ionic crystal. And the electrostatic forces are strong. What is it? Ionic crystal is being formed.
Yes, sir.
And one sodium is surrounded by 8 chloride ion and one chloride is surrounded by 8 sodium ion. There is an attractive force between them, students, and it spreads to 3 dimensions. So here is a view of NaCl. Each sodium is surrounded by 6. Each sodium ion is surrounded by 6 chloride ions. 6 chloride ions, students. And each chloride ion is surrounded by 6 sodium ions in an octahedral array and vice versa. And each chloride ion is surrounded by 6 sodium ions, student. In an octahedral array and vice versa, the coordination number. What is a coordination number, student? Is 6 here. The nearest neighbors which are touching these ions are almost touching each other, student, because they are positively charged sodium ion touching chloride ions. How many? 6. So the coordination number, or the number of nearest neighbor is called the coordination number. You have a house, the next neighbor is on the left, other is on the right. If there is someone on the back also, they are touching you. So those are your nearest neighbor. That is your coordination number, student. Coordination number. Here is 6 coordination number 6. One sodium ion is attracted by 6 chloride ion is almost touching. They are touching. One sodium is being surrounded by 6 chloride neighbors and one chloride by 6 sodium. Here they have shown the three-dimensional picture of that, student. And important point to note is that, student, the electrostatic forces are strong. Electrostatic forces of attraction are strong. Of attraction are strong. So what will happen then? Will the melting point will be higher or lower? It is a giant structure. Giant structure, student. As you can see, this is one part of the solid I have shown. There are no individual molecules of NaCl. Instead, bonding extends fairly uniformly throughout the whole structure. It is not just one Na and one Cl. So many sodium, so many chloride. They keep on in, you see, attracting in three-dimensional way, three-dimensional, forming a crystal. So, student, the bond is ionic, and here the lattice structures we have shown in the picture. What will be the, since the force of attraction is strong, student, what will be their melting points and boiling points? Usually tell me what type of melting and boiling points will be there, student. They will have higher or lower melting or boiling points. Their melting and boiling points will be higher.
Yes, sir.
Why? Because the ionic bond is strong, student. Electrostatic force of attraction is very strong. For example, NaCl has a melting point of, student, 801 degrees Celsius. And boiling point is 1400 degrees Celsius. It's a very high temperature, student. Magnesium oxide has a student has a melting point of 2800 degrees Celsius. And boiling point is still higher. How much? 3600 degrees Celsius. Okay? So that is why, students, these are solids at room temperature. NaCl you have seen at home. Is it a liquid or a gas or a solid? Tell me. NaCl is solid, liquid or gas which you are eating? At room temperature, they will be solids. Why? Because of the strong electrostatic force of attraction between them. Here you see in sodium ion, you have +1 and minus. In magnesium, you have 2 plus and 2 Cl minus. So the charge is more. When the charge is more, what happens? Coulomb's force will be more, student. Yes or no? Tell me. This is the charges are more, than what will happen? Force of attraction will be stronger.
Yes, sir.
So there is a +2 charge and -2 charge here. Q1, Q2. Here it is +1 and -1. So which will be more force? This force will be stronger electrostatic force. Okay? Product of the charges. So it is proportional to the product of charges. Is it clear? Tell me. Right? Therefore, student, I can say that, what I can say about the melting and boiling points of ionic compounds. Ionic compounds have high melting and boiling points. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Because of the strong electrostatic force of attraction. Strong electrostatic force of attraction, students. We have given the formula. F is equal to 1/4 pi E naught permeability Q1 into Q2 by R the scalar. Right? The more the charge is, more is the ionic charge, stronger is the ionic bond. Okay. Whatever you think about volatility? Will they be volatile? What do you mean by volatile, student? Which can form vapors? They have high volatility or low volatility? Tell me fast. Will they evaporate faster or slower?
They will evaporate faster.
Faster. NaCl evaporates in your home. Tell me.
They will evaporate slower.
If NaCl will evaporate, where is it? You are putting in the bottle, it will evaporate. They have high melting and boiling points. So what will happen? They have very, very low volatility. They are solids. They have very, very low volatility, student, because electrostatic forces are, because electrostatic forces of attraction are strong, student. It has a very high melting and boiling point. It's not evaporating. Sodium chloride is not evaporating. Okay. Got it?
Yes, sir.
What about electrical conductivity, students? What do you think? What is a conductor which can conduct electricity?
Yes, sir.
What about NaCl? Will it conduct electricity? Yes or no? Tell me.
Yes, sir, it will.
Conduct. If you have sodium NaCl chloride at your home, you put your finger. Are you getting any current? Tell me. Then, if you have solid, student, these ions are bound together. They are not free ions. They are held by strong electrostatic force of attraction. Yes or no? And only when there will be free ions, student, because it's a crystal lattice. It is a crystal lattice, student, high melting and boiling points. So in this, we can say, student, ionic substances do not conduct electricity when they are solids. But if you, student, melt them, then what will happen? If you melt, then they will form ions, student. They will form ions. And when ions will move, when they will move, student, when you will apply a potential difference, when ions will move, when you will apply a potential difference, yes or no? Ions are not moving by them. They are, even if they are moving, there is no current unless you apply a potential difference, student. So, student, when they will melt, they will form ions. Ions should be free to move. Or you are saying, second, you form, student, you put them in water. Okay? When ions, or you put them in a liquid like water. Liquid water. What will they form, student? In water, it dissolves. It dissolves to form ions. You know that sodium chloride dissociates. This is my solid. I put in water, student. What it happens? It forms sodium plus aqueous and chloride minus aqueous. Yes or no? So it dissociates in water. It dissociates to form ions. Now these ions can move. These ions can move, student. Therefore, they can conduct electricity. They can conduct electricity, student, in molten state or when they are in aqueous solution. That is why we call them electrolytes. What do we call them? Electrolytes, students. What are electrolytes? Which get ionized in water. And when they will get ionized in water, student, when you will apply a potential difference, what will happen? When you apply a potential difference, what will happen, student? That you can see here. So these are sodium ion and chloride ion in the solution. When I apply minus and plus, these are two electrodes. This is called cathode, negative plate. This is called anode. So when you apply, student, positive and negative, how you have to attach a battery, student? Battery. You know battery? Okay? When I will attach a battery, what will happen, student? Then these ions will start migrating. Cations move towards cathode. Cations move towards cathode, student. And anions move towards anode is a positive plate. Anode is a positive. This is a positive plate. Here you see chloride ion moving towards it. Do you see that? Tell me. This is my anode, positive plate, positive plate. See that positive? Tell me.
Yes,
Anode.
sir.
So anions are moving towards anode. If they will move towards anode, what will happen? If you are Cl minus, at anode oxidation will take place. They will lose electron. At anode, student, oxidation takes place. But I have to attach a battery, student. And when electrons will be released, where will these electrons go? These electrons will go, student, from here towards the negative plate. Got it?
Yes,
So
sir.
they will conduct electricity in the electrolyte solution, student, electrolyte solution. Clear?
Yes, sir.
And what will happen, student, about their solubility in water? NaCl, ionic compounds will dissolve in water. Ionic compounds are soluble, student. They are soluble in water. Why? Water is a polar solvent. Water is a polar solvent, student. ठीक है? And energy, water will, student, break them, dissolve them. And what happens if you have NaCl, solid, student? If you put in water, H2O, what happens? You will get Na plus, hydrated ion, and Cl minus, hydrated ions, and energy will be released. Energy is released, student. This is called hydration energy. What? Delta hydration energy, which is negative, that is released. Negative. Released, student. Because of that, the energy which is required to break the crystal lattice, this is a crystal, it needs energy to break it, that is provided by the hydration energy. The hydration energy is large, it will be able to provide the energy to break the crystal lattice of NaCl. Clear? Is it clear? Therefore, in ionic solution, they will conduct electricity. Ionic solution, students, conduct electricity. Noted? Not in the solid state. Either you have to melt it or you have to form in the solution, student. And ionic solids are usually not soluble in non-polar solvents. They are usually not soluble in non-polar solvents. Because non-polar solvents, student, does not have energy to break them, does not have energy to break them into ions, and therefore when they are do not have provide energy, ठीक है, which is required to break the crystal lattice, they will become insoluble. For example, student, if I have hexane, hexane is a non-polar solvent. It is a liquid. Hexane is a liquid non-polar solvent, and then these NaCl will not dissolve in hexane. NaCl will not dissolve in, do not dissolve in hexane because it is a non-polar solvent. It cannot provide energy required to break the, it cannot provide energy which is required to break the crystal lattice of NaCl. That is called the lattice energy. Energy has to be supplied equal to lattice energy to break the crystal into ions. Therefore, it is not possible, student, to break it. So I hope you understand all this chemical bonding topic by now. We have told you what are ionic compounds, how they are formed, how to write the chemical formula, and what are the properties, of the ionic solid, students, ionic compounds. So students, this ends up the topic here. Then I will meet you in my next class. Tomorrow I will meet you at 8 again for further lectures. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good night.
Good night, sir.